Earlier, I spoke with the Republican senator from the state of Florida, Rick Scott. Senator Scott, thanks for being with us here on the Hill once again. Appreciate the time as always.
Great to be with you, Blake.
Yep, you as well. All right, so let's start for a second with space, because Elon Musk back in the news today with SpaceX. And I'm looking at NASA, Senator. You know it well because they have a big presence in your backyard in the state of Florida. And they've got a $25 billion budget. And the reality is, Senator, that Elon Musk is doing things that NASA could only dream of at this point in time. Why does NASA have a $25 billion budget, and do they need it? Do we need that?
Well, first, let me just say I'm really excited that Mehmet Oz is going to be the director of Center for Medicare and Medicaid. He just got announced, so he's a good friend. I'm glad for him. With regard to our space, I think it's important that we continue the mission of NASA. I think it's important that we figure out how to continue space to all of our advantage. I think it's important that we continue to figure out how we make sure it's not militarized to harm Americans.
Okay.
So what the right number is for the budget, I couldn't tell you right now. I think it's important that we watch every dollar, I think Elon Musk is going to do a great job helping look at that, because look at what he's done with results. Yeah, so that's way less cost.
So that's what I was going to ask you next, because he's leading up DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Would you have any issues of him looking into NASA, which again has a big presence in your state?
Absolutely not. Think about what he's going to do. Look at what he's accomplished with way less money than NASA would have spent if they did it on their own. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what he's going to bring to the table. I'm excited for what Vivek's going to bring to the table. I'm excited for what President Trump's bringing to the table, because here's, for the first time since I've been up here, there's a real review of what our federal government should and shouldn't do, what regulations we need and don't need, what permitting we need and don't need. It's what I did when I won as governor of Florida back in November of 2010. I walked in and I figured out what regulations can we get rid of. That's what's going to happen up here. Streamline the permitting. That's what's going to happen up here. So it's been hard to get that done over the last 6 years, but now I have a partner in the White House. So it's going to be an exciting time for our country.
All right, let me ask you about a job. You were in the news, obviously, recently for running for the Senate Majority Leader role. John Thune won that nomination. You put out a letter today, Senator, to your colleagues, in which you said, quote, "I will do everything I can to help ensure his success as leader." When I watched over the weekend that UFC fight, Senator, and I saw Mike Johnson right behind Donald Trump there in Madison Square Garden with the president-elect. Mike Johnson was at Mar-a-Lago. For all we know, Senator Thune wasn't there, and we know he wasn't at Madison Square Garden. It leads to the question, Senator Scott, of do you think that Senator Thune is totally in on the Trump agenda like Mike Johnson is, or are you still skeptical in any sense?
Well, here's what happened. We had an election last week. While I didn't win the election, and that was a disappointment, everybody agreed on these things. They agreed we're going to work our butts off to get the Trump nominees confirmed quickly. They're receptive to recess appointments, right? We're going to work on the Trump agenda. We're going to have bills go through committee. We're going to, everything that Donald Trump ran on, we're going to work hard to make that happen. We're all going to be treated as equals. We're going to allow people to represent their state. This is exactly what I talked about 2 years ago when I ran against Mitch McConnell. The Senate had to change. I'm very optimistic that the senators are going to demand this change, and it's going to happen.
Any reservations, though, with Thune, Senator Thune?
He made a commitment to these things, and I believe everybody is going to do what they said they're going to do. So I'm going to work hard to do everything I can to make whoever the leader is successful. In this case, Senator Thune is the leader. I want him to be successful because guess what? That helps people back in my state. It helps with the Trump agenda, all these things.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.